Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, put my hand up, I got it wrong. Yesterday I did a video saying, where's Andy Ruiz? We haven't seen the former world champion for a while. Obviously, we've seen all these heavyweight cards being announced and no Andy Ruiz. I was like, what's going on? Why is he not in discussions to be on these cards? And a few of you pointed it out to me. Well, a lot of you pointed it out to me that Andy Ruiz has just had surgery and he'll be back in 2024, and that's good. Look, it wasn't a dig at Andy Ruiz. Well, it was kind of, because again, he's not been active, has he? But I did say on yesterday's video that I still think he's one of the best heavyweights on the planet and that he will cause any heavyweight problems. So I think the main point of the video yesterday was I want to see Andy Ruiz fight. Again, it wasn't a direct dig at him. It was a case of where is he? Even if Andy Ruiz didn't have surgery, I mean, you guys only have to look at Andy Ruiz's recent activity. And I mean, I'd like to think that if it wasn't for surgery, he would be fighting. But again, if you look at what he's been doing in the last few years, I don't know. But yeah, Andy Ruiz is having surgery or has had surgery, and hopefully we'll see him sometime in 2024 in the mix for big fights. I'm hearing that there are going to be more big cards in Saudi Arabia, and hopefully, and he should be, not even hopefully, Andy Ruiz should be in one of those cards fighting some of the top guys. Before we talk about the Fury-Usyk presser yesterday, which was at times interesting, let's quickly talk about Shakur Stevenson very quickly versus Edwin De Los Santos. I haven't seen the fight. Obviously, I'm not going to watch the fight because I've seen the reports of the fight and it wasn't good. Right? I mean, I have seen the punch stats, they're in front of me right now, and that's low. That's incredibly low. I know Shakur Stevenson has come out and apologized. I don't know if you need to apologize. He just had an off day, right? I mean, your best fighter has had an off day, right? My best fighters that I've been watching for years have had off days. I think the key is, even in your off day, get the W, get the win, and hopefully when he's in big fights next year, no one remembers. But yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do now, what the move is with Shakur. Obviously, look, we all, or at least we believe, this offer from Devin Haney came in at 25%. Obviously, Shakur now will be sitting back thinking, should have took it. So I do wonder now if he gets an offer from one of the big guys, which even isn't really the value of Shakur Stevenson, maybe he just takes it. Maybe he does, because maybe he just wasn't up for it yesterday. I mean, remember, it was supposed to be Frank Martin. Well, it was really supposed to be Devin Haney. They were in discussions. Then that fell off, and then it was supposed to be Frank Martin. And then in the end, it's someone that a lot of the casual boxing fans don't know, in Edwin De Los Santos. And I feel like Shakur Stevenson might be the type of fighter that raises his game when it really is a killer on the opposite side of the ring. And without being disrespectful to De Los Santos, he isn't that. So, yeah, let's just move on from that performance. There was an incredible photo of Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather, and Andre Ward. And I think sort of doing quick maths, and this is very quick maths, so it's probably wrong. That photo, the combined record of everyone in that photo is something like 142-0. I don't know how many world titles either. It's crazy, right? What a photo that is. I might get that photo and put it somewhere, because that's an incredible photo. And I don't think Shakur is going to go on to achieve more than Floyd. I mean, most probably not. But I think he's going to go on to have an incredible career. Incredible. And look, now he's a freeweight world champion. And I think his landing spot will be 147. So I expect him to win a belt at 140, and I expect him to win a belt at 147. All right, let's talk about what the video is about. Yesterday, we saw the press conference. I was at the press conference for Tyson Fury versus OLEKSANDR USYK. By the way, how cool was it for a Sylvester Stallone to be there? Like, I was backstage. I was doing so many interviews. We're going to get to those. I didn't even know he was in the building. Like, I don't know where he was or where he was hiding. But when I heard the Rocky music, I was like, okay, they're just playing Rocky music. And then out walks Sly. And I'm like, my God, Sylvester Stallone's in the building. It's a shame I didn't get a picture with him. Like, there's some people, like, I'm around so many celebrity people, right? There's some I'm just like, I'm not going to get a photo with him or her. I wish I got a photo with Sly. because I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan, and I'm guessing many of you are as well. But Tyson Fury was in a prickly, is that the word? Prickly mood? I was going to say pricky. You know what I was talking about. It wasn't in the best of moods, put it that way, yesterday. When I got my interview slot with him, you can always tell when a fighter walks in, you're like, oh, this might be tough. And the interview actually started out pretty tough. But then we got going, and obviously I'm not the worst interviewer in the world. And then we just enjoyed a good conversation, which was nice. I spoke to Frank Warren as well. Tony Bellew did the Usyk interview. I thought the presser was interesting. Fury, I don't know if Fury is being very, very aggressive, like angry, or he's just playing. Because Fury will say a line and be very aggressive, and then the next line he's laughing and joking. So it's he's very difficult to read. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll be fighters in the past where if they're being aggressive, they're just aggressive, right? I mean, Mike Tyson, obviously the obvious one. There's no laughing and joking there. But Fury will say something and then in the next sentence almost laugh at what he said. Like, I think he said something and said, I stole that from Ali, and everyone just started laughing. But he was clearly trying to get under the skin of Alexander Usyk, and it wasn't working just because it was difficult. Obviously, he's saying things to Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk is understanding it, but it's still going for a translator, and then then Usyk's then saying it to the translator, who then says it to Fury, and by then it's lost it. You know what I mean? It's lost that what you need at a press conference. But Fury did his best to try and rally up Usyk. Usyk does what Usyk always does, which is be very stoic, doesn't respond. But look, press conferences are there just for us, the media. This fight doesn't need to be sold. I mean, if it does need to be sold, then there's a problem in boxing, and I think boxing's in a good space right now. This is the undisputed heavyweight title. It doesn't get bigger than that in the sport. Not just in the sport of boxing, but the undisputed heavyweight title is sort of up there with any event in sport. Heavyweight title was, I grew up as a boxing fan, and it was always about the heavyweight division. When I grew up, it was always about Mike Tyson. Then it went into the Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis era, and then it obviously died a little bit, unfortunately, and then it all became about the smaller guys. But I fell in love with the sport of boxing because of the heavyweights. If the heavyweight division is booming, boxing's booming. And right now, all of a sudden, the heavyweight division's got excited, got a bit of injection of energy again. But nothing beats this. This is genuinely number one versus number two. They've almost had their semi-finals already. I know they had fights after, but Usyk had his double semi-final against AJ and came through that, right? And Fury had his double semi-final, triple semi-final against Deontay Wilder and came through that. Yes, they've had fights after that, but that was really it, wasn't it? That was your four. Like, undoubtedly, that was the best four heavyweights in the world. Fury, Usyk, Wilder, AJ. And, you know, those two have come through it. They've come through it, come through difficult times in those fights, but they've both come through it. So this is number one versus number two. This is unbeaten versus unbeaten. It doesn't get better than that. Not every undisputed fight is 100% number one versus number two. Not every. This is it. This is number one versus number two. I asked Barry Jones, I was doing the show with Barry Jones and Tony Bellew. I don't know if you guys watched the stream, but I asked them, how far removed are both from their best? Because I'm not stupid. Like, age waits for no man, right? Both of them are not spring chickens anymore. I said the best Usyk I've ever seen is Gassiev, where he just dominated him. It was easy work. And Tony Bellew. That's many, many, many years ago. The best Fury I've seen was Deontay Wilder 2. Again, many, many, many years ago. How far are they both from that? Because I still think as good as Usyk is as a heavyweight, the best Usyk's a cruiserweight. There's no two ways about it. That guy there is incredible. And again, that Wilder fight for Fury was, I'm going to say 4 years ago. And Barry said, look, I mean, they're still very good. Maybe not at that level, but still very good and still number one and two. And I agree with him. I do think we're going to see a much better Fury than the Ngannou performance. I'm telling you, much. Already, having seen Fury, Fury is going to stay around the weight he's at now. Like, normally you get Fury ballooning up. I don't see it. In fact, I would say he looks lighter again, I was right next to him. I mean, we did the interview. You guys have probably seen it on my social media. Like, I think he's lighter than 277 pounds he was against Ngannou. So I don't think this is a case of Fury coming in to try and bully Usyk. I think it might be a Fury that moves a bit more. So hopefully, hopefully Fury comes in around 260. For Usyk, he's now a full-blown heavyweight. There's all this talk about he's a small heavyweight. I don't know if you guys have seen him. He's not a small heavyweight at all. This guy is 6'3", 16 stone. That's a heavyweight, people. That's a heavyweight. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I will edge to Fury just because I think both are very, very good. Both have this will to win. Both clearly, obviously unbeaten. But I've got to give it to the bigger man in this one. I mean, there are weight divisions for a reason, and Fury will probably on the night be around 2 stone heavier than Usyk. That has to count for something. I know Usyk's skills pay the bills, but Fury doesn't lack too much skill either. So I think it's an incredible fight. And what the Saudis are doing is insane, isn't it? It's insane. I mean, when you think of the mega cards they're putting together, say what you want about Fury and Ngannou in terms of the best versus the best, and I get it, right? And Ngannou hadn't fought before, but that card was wow, right? The card was good. It was epic. The whole thing was incredible. That was only a couple of weeks ago, and now we don't have to wait long for this December 23rd card, and we don't have to wait long for the February 17th card. And by the way, we don't even know what the card's going to be. I'm guessing that card's going to be stupid. I'm guessing Ngannou's going to be on that card as well. Everyone that isn't on this card might be on that one. I'm hearing Jili Zhang on the card, Bakoli on the card, so they're going to go crazy. And I spoke to Fury's manager yesterday, and I'm like, it does seem very heavyweight heavy. I know Bivol and Jarpatai are fighting, but it's very heavyweight heavy. And he said, oh, no, they've got plans for the lower weight classes as well. So they're going to do big things. And I'm hearing there's a big card in March as well to end Riyadh season, like something crazy in March. What could that be? I do not know. But I've got a feeling that I've got a feeling Terence is going to somehow get involved. Terence Crawford I'm talking about. I've got a feeling that Terence Crawford, imagine, yeah, it can't happen, surely not, it can't happen. But imagine that they somehow, because they've not really got the PBC boys yet, right? I mean, Deontay Wilder's a free agent. Imagine that somehow they can take Canelo from Vegas and Canelo Crawford 168 to end Riyadh season. Fucking hell. Nah, that can't happen, surely. I will say this, though. The photo I just saw of Crawford with Shakur, Floyd, and Andre Ward, Crawford looks bigger. Not fat. Looks like he's putting a bit of size. Lean muscle size. So, yeah. Anyway, look, February 17th, not long to go. Looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll edge towards Fury, but don't be surprised if Alexander Usyk shocks the world. But, yeah, guys, girls, as always, we are done. I've not even seen any of these fights. Navarrete beat Robson Conceição. Ended in a draw, but Navarrete drops him twice. Okay, that fight I need to see. When someone drops someone twice and the fight ends in a draw, semi-controversial, but we need to see it. All right, anyway, peace and love.